Okay, it's day 170, and this is part two. And the big news story, obviously, is the Treasury Department sanctioning the different Russian individuals as well as entities. And there's 7 Russians, including Oleg Deripaska. You remember Oleg Deripaska, the pasta that comes out of your salad with the Derringer, the Deripaska. You've also got 12 Russian companies and then 17 senior Russian officials. Now, these officials usually are just kind of fillers, and it's really the companies and the Russians that are really interesting. Now, you'll notice we've done a lot of work on Oleg Deripaska, so I created a playlist for him, and then also with Russian companies, you'll see 3 or 4 different Russian companies like VTB Bank and others that I've focused on and that I've put out on Twitter as well this morning for background on who these people actually are. What we're going to continue doing is continue identifying more Russians, more of Hillary's Russians, Christopher Steele's Russians, Andy McCabe's Russians that they work with. And these are just organized crime figures. They were FSB agents. They became organized crime figures. And basically, they've been running different types of compromat. So we'll be focusing on Russians like the Vera Pharma deal with Abbott Laboratories here in Chicago with Rahm Emanuel and our famous basketball-owning Russian oligarch, basketball team owning Russian oligarch in New Jersey, Mr. Pinchuk. We'll be looking at the Pinch Bears, the famous CrowdStrike, hacking team that potentially just got exiled or expelled by Trump. So are the Pinch Bears associated with Pinchuk? Was that associated with getting the Vera Pharma deal through and other Russian drug company deals through, other Russian weapons deals through? We're going to look at that. We're going to look at Firtash. We're going to look at other oligarchs like Katsev, and we're going to look at Friedman. So all those names will be coming, and our objective here is to add to the list of people on the U.S. sanctions. Take out all of Hillary's and Christopher Steele's and Andy McCabe's Russians. That's the key. Now, the other thing that could help is bring people to the White House that can illuminate Trump's knowledge of Andy McCabe's tactics and also inform public policy on terrorism, counterterrorism. Somebody like a Robin Gritz being invited to the White House is what we recommend. We still have a hostage in Iran. A lot of these dealings with the Russians were for the Iran deal. We have Anthony Weiner's trusted staff negotiating these deals on BlackBerries. We have the different Gmail accounts from the State Department negotiating these deals with Iran. Now we have people shooting people from Iran at YouTube, and now we still have a hostage there in Iran. Was Robin Gritz shuffled off the Robert Levinson deal because she was making too close? She was getting too close to the family. She was making too much progress. We really don't know the answer to that. But we think that President Trump would do well to get an insider who's been on the case since 2007, has years of experience with negotiating with the Iranians to the White House to get an outside the bubble perspective on the Russian-Iranian situation.